Have you checked the children? You're a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes. That is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
And you got Jaime and Fuego.
And we are here to finally start a review series that I have been excited about for a very long time. And Fuego, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was espousing the wonders of this series before you got into it, before a lot of people knew about this one,
is true.
right?
Yep.
So this series is from 2010, and this is called Locke Key.
I've got my hardcover.
This is a volume, or this is the first volume of it. I have my deluxe hardcover with both volume 1 and 2 over there, but I also have these
the
issues,
oversized
so
edition.
I'm gonna refer to these. But guys, this is a series by Joe Hill, and Gabriel Rodriguez does the artwork, who quickly became one of my absolute favorite artists for independent books through this book. And Joe Hill, of course, if you don't know, is the son of Stephen King, that we have done tons of other coverage on, that including The Cape, Tales from the Dark Side, both of which you haven't seen those comic reviews yet, but they're there. But we've also reviewed a bunch of books, right, Fuego?
All of his books, yeah. So we've done Strange Weather, we've done Full Throttle, we did Nosferatu, we did the Fireman, Heart-Shaped Box,
right.
Horns. I mean, yeah, they're all on here, guys. So, and they're all terrific. This guy, he's just getting better and better, which is the one thing. It's almost like sharpening a knife, so to speak, with him.
But as we went along and experienced more and more of his properties, I still maintain that Locke Key was my favorite. And I'm curious to know, because here's the thing: Fuego, previous to this, had only read the first volume,
Just this one.
but he actually read the second volume now, which we're going to talk about pretty soon. And now he's like itching for more, right?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go read a couple more volumes when I get home tonight, maybe, if I have time.
Yeah,
we
so
shall see.
I'm excited to talk about the rest. We'll be reviewing all of them going forward. I mean, as the Netflix series drops, you'll see reviews of every volume coming up. So some of you may not want to hear, because we're gonna, some of them may be a bit spoilery for what may come in future Netflix seasons. But we are going to be starting with Volume 1. This is between Volume 1 and Volume 2. I believe that's what Season 1 is going to be based on.
Primarily encompassed.
Seems like. We don't know for sure, but that's what it seems like. So let's get into it, Fuego. What is Locke Key about?
So Locke Key is about the Locke family, who are relocating back to the town of Lovecraft, which is in Massachusetts, if I recall correctly, right?
Lovecraft, Mass?
Yep, Lovecraft, Mass, that's right. And they are doing it, unfortunately, under really negative circumstances because of the fact that their father has just been murdered by a fanatical and crazy student of his. So he's a high school teacher.
Sam Lesser.
Yes, who is the, wormier, redhead looking dude there. But, yeah, he is, as you can see, they've got guns and they've got axes and stuff. And they go to a vacation property that the family is staying at since, the school year is done. And this kid is out to extract revenge. I mean, he was supposed to be writing a letter of recommendation to him. And the father is essentially like, I can't write you a letter of recommendation. I can help you out with, filling out for, student aid and getting scholarships and stuff like that, but I can't just in good conscience recommend you because I feel like you're mentally ill and you're a brilliant student regardless and you need to seek help, and he doesn't want to taint his reputation by, trying to get this kid through. But
in the midst of this, we meet Tyler, Bodie, and Kinsey, who are the children of the father and the mother, and
they are all massively mentally scarred after being there as their family is terrorized. Their father is killed, and Kinsey and Bodie, is it Bodie or Bodie? Bodie.
It's Bodie.
Okay, yeah. But so Kinsey and Bodie, they're basically like hiding up on top of the roof while this madman and his accomplice are going through the property trying to find them and stuff. And then the oldest son, Tyler, right?
Tyler, yeah.
He ends up just smashing the hell out of this guy and essentially saving the family, bashing his face in with this big brick or rock or whatever the hell it is. So he takes Sam down. Sam is in custody, and the family, in turn, in grief following the funeral, relocates back to the Lovecraft home, which is their just long tenured family property that has all kinds of interesting just history and powers within it. And yeah, that's where all the keys come into play, and we start to realize what's really been going on there for who knows how long. I know you know because you've read all these books.
Indeed. So they get to Key House, and Bodhi, who is investigating, quickly finds this right here, which is the ghost key. And he finds a ghost doorknob that matches the key, and he goes through it. And this is the end of issue 1, where he walks through the door, and when he does, he becomes a ghost. And it leaves his dead body behind, and it freaks him out for a second, so he swims back through the door, and he goes right back into his body. So that's just one of the keys and what they do. And it you know, that's just the introduction. And so continue on, Fuego, please.
Yeah, and we do find out that the killer, Sam, since he's 17, he's just in a juvenile detention center, so he is still alive, and he is talking to, like, some evil spirit in the toilet, essentially. And you don't...
The sink.
Yeah, that... Really?
Or is it the sink or the toilet?
I think it's his toilet, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me see.
I was
I'll find
in
out in 1 second. Go ahead, continue though.
Yeah, so he's talking with this spiritual presence. Who knows how mentally ill he actually is? Is there really something he's seeing down there? Well, we do get some answers as the issues go on, and yes, indeed, there is most definitely something that he is talking to, and it is connected with this well, which is on the property. This echo, if you will, this echoing spiritual presence that Bodhi...
There's a well house
Bodhi
that
gets
Bodhi
acquainted
finds,
with. Yeah.
and he first hears an echo, and he says, "Are you my echo?" And then it says, "Yes, Bodhi, I am," and it freaks him out, and he freaking bolts.
Yeah. And of course, Tyler and Kinsey remind him, they're like, that was one of the only rules you had to abide by, Bodhi, was we're told not to go into the well,
into the well house.
Into the well house, essentially. Yeah, and that's one person who is making the transition at least decent and a little more accommodating is the brother of
Duncan,
their dead father, Duncan. Yeah.
Uncle Dunk.
Yeah, and so he's there, and he hangs out for a good chunk of it, but then he ends up having to go back to he's an art teacher, and
he's there for the first volume.
He's there for the entirety.
He's there for the entire first
Okay,
one.
and since I read head games in this one completely, just back to back. So yes, he actually plays a significant part, and you can tell that there's certain things that he remembers or has an intuition about, but you kind of get the vibe that he doesn't really understand the full extent of the power of this property. Yeah,
they've forgotten.
Because when you become an adult, you forget the magic, which is a theme in a lot of different fantasy writing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you find out quickly that at the bottom of the well, and Bodhi finds out quickly too, because he becomes a ghost and floats down and sees that there's this female presence down there that's talking to him.
Sam calls her.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he calls her Dodge until the end of this volume.
He's only in this volume, the Sam character.
So far.
Well then.
Well, I mean, he's not done. You read the volume.
I did.
So we find out though very quickly that there's something very off about this presence that is talking to Bodhi and kind of tricking him because he's just a young boy.
Yeah, the mirror bit alone, I was like, it's creepy.
Yeah. Oh, so no, you're right. It was the toilet. You're right. I think they made it. It's the sink.
Oh, it is the sink. Okay. Well, maybe
it looks like it's both. It looks like he reaches into the toilet but talks to the sink. It looks like we're both right, Fuego. Let's just say we're both right.
Yes, we are.
But nonetheless, he gets stuff passed to him. And so that's, I mean, we can't get...
There's not a lot else we can mention
more into it. I'm just going to show I'm going to continue to show some artwork as we go through and talk about our thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the story. Fuego, how did you like it?
I loved it, actually. I loved it significantly more than the previous time I read it. I don't know why I was so kind of
ho-hum on it.
I was just ho-hum on it. I didn't despise it or anything. I just thought it was just okay. For whatever reason, this time the rumination on grief and how you're actually dealing with it, and also the fact that
there is violence, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, this is an R-rated comic for sure. From the language to the extent of violence that transpires, some of the themes that they explore here. I mean, the whole survivor's guilt that Tyler is dealing with is big time, that I didn't pick up on quite as much the first time.
Heavy.
Yeah, it's big time, especially.
And Kinsey's trauma as well.
And yet her trauma is of a different regard, and she tries to address it in the volume after this. You know, the Head Games volume, which is interesting.
There's some normal stuff that goes on, but look at how gorgeous this artwork is.
It's terrific, and the fact that she's like,
so
I don't want to. You know, Bodhi at one point says, my sister used to look like a rock star, and now she just looks all regular.
Yeah, because she had dreads.
She had dreads, and she's got the eyebrow piercings and stuff. And
so this is something that I wanted to show, because this is the only thing, the only time in the first volume that you get a sense that there's something more going on, because this is a photo of of Tyler, Bodhi, and Kinsey's parents when they're a lot younger, when they met and hung out as teenagers themselves. And you see that there's some familiar characters. You meet this girl who is older now and is the coach of the school. Dodge here, very reminiscent face right there.
Yeah, the best friend of the father is.
Yep, indeed. And so you meet all these most of these characters as older.
I'm looking.
Did you not realize?
I feel like the photo changed in the second volume. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Anyway.
Really? You think so?
Or, well,
pull it up. Look in the volume. Let's find out.
In the second volume because
really?
Because the person who was the director of that play, he's in the photo in the second volume.
That is the director, right?
Is that him?
Yeah.
Okay, I just can't see as well from there. Oh yeah. He's even old at that particular point. He's really old in the second volume when we meet him. So
yeah.
But,
I'm sorry. Continue with your thoughts.
Yeah, but also Kinsey just trying to. I mean, she's having a different difficulty of time because she's trying to make new friends, and she actually does kind of seem to want to. She gets involved with the cross country / running team, and she makes a friend there, and it's just
that was a sweet thing,
so
right? Because at first she was resistant she doesn't want anyone to find out about her past.
Yeah.
She doesn't, since she's in a new place, she doesn't want to become that girl that everyone knows as the tragic girl. You know what I mean?
And Tyler feels the same way because at that one point he's talking about in high school you're either the jock, the slut, the whatever, and now I'm going to be like the victim, and I don't want to be that. I want to forge my own identity and everything. And
meanwhile, Bodhi is struggling with having visions of his dead father.
Yeah, he's having these nasty nightmares of his dad with the shot blown through his face. And
so, I mean, you liked it a lot more. I mean, it's a really cohesive, and it's such a great...
I loved it this time. Whereas the last time, I liked it well enough the last time. So don't get me wrong that I was just like... But it was a little bit more on the forgettable side for me. And I think maybe that's just because I didn't get through more than one volume. But boy, is there so much brooding below the surface. And I don't know, maybe I just glanced at the previous time as opposed to sitting like I can breeze through one of these in about an hour, and I think I spent like over
God, really?
Yeah, and I think
That's
I spent
fast.
Yeah, and I think I spent about 2.5 hours just sitting and really analyzing the dialogue, and like Hill's writing is so amusing in this, and even early on where they're just like, oh, Bodhi hasn't been gone long enough for him to be in a position to get hurt, and he's standing on top of all these books about to like grab a sword. Yeah, exactly. So it was just little nods like that I was just like, I don't know, maybe I just didn't pick up on them as well the first read through. So
yeah, and I mean it's just such a fun. So my thoughts are I absolutely love this. I loved it since the first time I read it. As you can see, I picked the issues up off the shelf when they first came out.
You have all the individuals, right?
I have the individuals for the first 2 volumes.
Oh, okay.
After that, I think I was in a bad financial position, so I had to cut back, and I just ended up getting the hardcovers, which I bequeathed upon you.
You did. Thank you, sir.
I didn't have the first or second one. I think you must have bought those.
These are the 2 that I bought.
Yeah, but 3 through 6 I gave you, which was, you gave me a bunch of Dark Tower ones, so I felt like it was a fair trade there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this ever since the first time I read it, and reading it all, because again, reading it off the rack, you're reading it month to month, and it was so engaging in that fashion, but it's so much better when you're able to read it all back to back and make it all sort of connect. And I'm bummed that I didn't read. I thought for sure, because you posted yesterday or something that you were starting that, and I was like, oh, there's no way he'll have time to read both of them. So I only read the first one, but we'll be reviewing them, and I'm excited about it. But I love the story. The story is really good. It's complex.
Very much so.
It's deep, and it drops hints that I'm picking up on this read through because I've read it all, that I'm like, oh, I can't wait for Fuego to see how this develops. I can't wait to re-see how it develops, because it's been long enough that I don't remember all the little intricate details.
It's looking at it with those fresh eyes, man.
Yeah, but the family dynamic is so well told.
It is.
And the way it ties into the Sam Lesser of it all, and Dodge's character, and what's going on, and how it all evolves and even deepens volume by volume, that's what makes me love this even more. But even as its own 6-issue series, it's just so good and so well done. I didn't actually show the cover to that one, I don't think. And then finally, the last issue here. Well, let's why don't you talk about the artwork, Fuego? since I'm on the
Yeah,
last
yeah. I was
issue
gonna
here.
say Gabriel Rodriguez doing this. I mean, it's not hyper-realism or anything like that, at least in my estimation.
No,
It does have like a little bit of a cartoony,
But it's hyper detailed with bold lines and everything.
Yes, very bold, like just kind of shading on all of the characters and stuff. And also, it's very unapologetically gory at times too, which I had really forgotten about, especially when Sam is going on some of his killing sprees and stuff as he's trying.
That's why you see what I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off,
you're
but
fine,
you
you're
see how when people watched our Netflix reaction were like, "Oh, it looks so super fantasy." I'm like, there's a lot of horror elements in this, like
in the source material,
like slasher elements, someone coming, home
100%.
invasion slasher
in
elements.
this first one, which is where it makes me wonder how much of that the Netflix series is going to retain. That's where I'm just really the most curious, because
Jay Photos, who inked all of, or who did the coloring on all of these, he said that the Fox pilot was good. He never saw the Hulu one, but he said the Netflix one blows the Fox pilot away. And I watched the Fox pilot, which I guess I have to review on my own unless we can get Jay to give you a copy. But it was pulled down before Fuego could watch it. But even that was good enough where I was like, I want more. Now knowing Netflix's is even better, according to Jay, is so exciting.
Yeah, I got to see the trailer for it, and I was like, oh, Nick Stahl is in this. Interesting. But yeah, that's about it. Unfortunately, even though there was a bloody disgusting article about it, within like not even 2 days it was already taken down. So
that's such a bummer.
Surprise, surprise. Maybe it'll pop back up somewhere else. I'm gonna keep searching.
So yeah, just a one more set of pages here. I'm just not trying to spoil anything for you guys.
Yeah, and the way the mother's alcoholism and the dealing with depression, and it's so complex,
deep,
man, in everything that's going on, and every character is so incredibly well developed and compelling. Even the villains in this are very intriguing, and just there's so much that like backstory that I still feel like needs to be like fleshed out, and I can't wait to see where it all goes. I know where it goes in the sequel that we will get to next, which is right here, the Head Games, which is dope. But
and in the very end, you see that Bodhi finds another key, a head key, and they actually do
he fishes it out.
a massive showing of a bunch of the keys, and most of these appear in the 6 volumes.
But yeah,
and apparently they created some new keys for the show.
Oh, okay.
That's what I've heard.
Well, yeah, because as Bodhi is told, there's a gender swapping key.
Yep.
There's what is it? The any door or the infinity key?
Anywhere key. That's what Dodge uses. And then there's
and
also
there's
the giant key. There's the shadow key. There's so many keys. I can't wait for you. I mean, I have over there behind Fuego, the octopi are all holding different keys from the Locke Key universe. And to that end, we're going to end this review by doing a small unboxing. I have more to add. So I'm going to pull this over, Fuego. This is the only key from these 2 volumes that I have. Oh, wait, no, that's not true. Here's this one, and then here is...
the head key. Oh.
Here is the anywhere key.
Nice.
So that is the anywhere key. Hold up the head key so they can see for you.
And the anywhere key is like pretty much just think of where you want to go, and you can essentially go
now I remember why it's so thin. I was wondering why it was so thin and chintzy, but remember where it's hidden.
Yeah, it's in the bracelet.
It's in the bracelet, right. So I'm going to hang this one back up. You hang on to that one. But I am going to do this unboxing. So you can get these from Skeleton Crew. And they do they do a bunch of them. There's still a few keys that have been out of print that I haven't been able to get yet, but they just released these.
Oh, my head's still here.
So, yeah, no, that's not how that works, but, all right, so I'm going to open these. I have 2 new keys for my collection.
Whoa!
And they are exciting because one of them, I was like, oh, well, what did I get that for then? So, here we go. Yes. All right, so I'm going to open this one first. Undo this. So this is a new key that I haven't had before. All right, so it comes in this beautiful Locke Key velvet bag. And we have the ghost key.
Dope.
So you can see, and it's a signed ghost key. It's signed by the manufacturer, the guy that makes it. But that is, you got the skull on the top there. It's a beautiful black plated key. So that's pretty exciting. I need to add that to the collection over there. Although I'm out of octopus arms, so I need to order a new octopus.
So does the octopus have significance to the series then?
No, well, it's a Lovecraft house.
Oh, okay.
So that
makes sense.
I just decided, I was like, I need something to hang my keys from, and I was like, oh, octopus Lovecraft, that works.
Yeah.
So they actually have a couple of different editions. This is the head key, the normal head key.
Mm-hmm.
You can see there's some intricacies in the carving there, but they just released the Legacy edition head key.
So is that where they're most like colored a little more so like what we have in the series or something? Oh.
It's actually very, look at it.
Wow. Yeah, this is much more like the one in the comic.
Yeah. Yeah, so I actually just purchased the other one.
See the difference.
So there is the new head key. It's actually got the 2 tones in there, and there's the one I have. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hang on to this one.
That's obviously a lot more like, right here. It's on the cover of this.
Indeed,
so,
but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this one as a giveaway for the horror show.
Nice.
I'm not sure how best to do that. But maybe when the show launches, we'll do a little giveaway in the comments, and best comment gets this initial head key, the original edition, because yeah, this one is definitely look at that. Look at how gorgeous that is. Way more like the one in the comic. So
exactly.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Well, and I must say, man, after this read, like, my excitement level for the series is escalated exponentially.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. Now you know why I was as excited as I was during the reaction.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for our review of Volume 1 of Locke & Key. Stay tuned for our review of Head Games. This is the old key, but nonetheless, that is the one that this one's all about. So thank you guys very much for watching this. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button and subscribe to make sure you don't miss our future Locke & Key reviews. Trust me, if you're going to watch the Netflix series, you're going to want to hear our reviews of the whole comic book series. There should be 7 episodes total as of right now, and there is more Locke & Key coming this very year in the comic books.
There is. Thank you, Joe Hill.
Thank you, Joe Hill. Thank you, Jay Photos, for keeping us sort of in the loop in certain things. So,
and Gabriel Rodriguez, obviously. Great artwork.
Also, guys, just so you know, they did drop that Fox pilot very briefly. I think I might have a way for Fuego to be able to watch it, so we will be reviewing that pilot, which is based on the first volume. And so we'll do a separate review of that from the Netflix series. Hopefully we'll get that going in the next couple of weeks as well. But yeah, as you guys are watching this, the Netflix series should drop in 2 days. This Friday. You're seeing this on Wednesday. It should be dropping this Friday. So get excited. And if you already watched the series and you've gone back and watched this review now you see why it's so cool from the comics. Go get your hands on the comics, because the first season did not cover all the comics. If you want to know what happens next, the comics are worth your time and money. So thank you guys very much for watching. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
Gracias, I've been Jaime Fuego.
And remember, stay scared.